Members of the General Assembly, it is my distinguished honor to present to you our friend, a friend of Tennessee, and the governor of the great state of Tennessee, Governor Honorable Bill Lee.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for that. Lieutenant Governor McNally, Speaker Sexton, Speaker Pro Tem Hale, Speaker Pro Tem Marsh, members of the 115th General Assembly, justices of the Supreme Court, senators, constitutional officers, cabinet, and my staff, and my friends, and my family. Thank you. Thank you. And one more special thank you to the one person who has walked every step of this journey with me, serving her state with grace and strength and dignity, the First Lady and my precious wife, Maria Lee. Let me start off by saying this is an unusual week. Many of our state have experienced real challenges in the past week due to Winter Storm Fern. There are Tennesseans tonight who are still without power, some who are in this room tonight. And there are Tennessee families who lost a loved one in this storm. 25 have lost their lives due to this winter storm. It's been a difficult and frustrating, in some cases, tragic struggle. And to add to that struggle, I spoke last night with Nicole Bonham. She's the widow of Derek Bonham, a Weakley County Sheriff's deputy who courageously gave his life this week in the line of duty, leaving behind Nicole and their 3 children. In light of all of that, if you would just stop for a minute and pray with me for those families that have suffered so much this past week. Father, we lift up every one of these families, and you alone can bring peace in the midst of a storm. You alone can bring hope in the midst of tragedy, and yet you can. And you will, and we trust that you will be very near to these families that we hold up today. Bless them, Father, as they walk through the grief and the struggle as only you can. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you. In the midst of the challenges of these storms, we actually have seen courage and selflessness in the line workers and the highway patrolmen and the Tennessee National Guardsmen and TDOT crews and countless state employees, as well as everyday Tennesseans opening their home up to neighbors in need. So let's take just a moment to thank these dedicated Tennesseans who embody the volunteer spirit and give us hope that the end of this will soon be in sight. In 2019, when I walked through those doors into this chamber for the very first time, I had great excitement about what we together could and would deliver for the people of Tennessee. And with 7 years under our belt, and at least in my case, a lot of gray hair to show for it, we have delivered. But I could have never predicted the journey that you and I would embark upon together. I now know that it's impossible to fully appreciate the relationship between a governor and a General Assembly until you're submerged in the deep end together, solving real serious problems. And yes, sometimes wrestling it out, but always looking for opportunities to make life better for the 7 million people that we serve. I am grateful to be part of that process with you, the men and women of this General Assembly, many of whom don't get near the credit you deserve for choosing to be in this difficult arena. And whether or not you and I agree on a lot or a little, we have found a way to accomplish much for our people. So together, tonight, in addition to laying out the priorities for this next important year, I'll also take a chance to be just a bit nostalgic about our time together and about the past 250 years of the greatest country this world has ever known. I want to start by looking back at just a few of the things that you have accomplished in the last 7 years. You drove Tennessee's poverty rate below the national average for the first time in history. You reached the lowest recidivism rate. You created the best business environment in America. You passed unprecedented pay raises for law enforcement, a 42% pay raise for teachers. In the middle of your work, you responded to tornadoes, floods, a pandemic, a Christmas bombing, a hurricane, and ice storms. And all the while, you modernized our transportation system and created 14 new state parks and cleaned rural brownfields and protected our rivers. And I could go on all night, but this is the state of our state. And you deserve credit for so much. Thank you. Your work, our work, is more than just passing legislation, it's changing lives. And so let's not slow down in this last year. Throughout our nation's 250 years, historians have called Tennessee the original frontier. And Tennessee frontiersmen, to this day, never stop exploring the possibility of a better future for our people. Never coast, never settle. We press through from one frontier to the next. Davy Crockett didn't stop at his birthplace in East Tennessee. He went on to explore and settle in Middle Tennessee. And then he went on to explore and settle in West Tennessee. And then on to Texas, on to the next frontier. Just like we are involved in the continuous building of a more perfect union, the work of a frontiersman never stops, and ours should not stop either. Being governor has afforded me the opportunity to experience things that I never could have prior, like witnessing the adoption ceremony of a foster child, or the heartbreaking but powerful experience of praying with a family who just lost everything in the Waverly flood, or taking a call from the COO of America's most iconic automaker and hearing them say, "We decided to come to Tennessee." Those are moments, and there are many others that I'll never forget. Just like the moments that I just spent with Tennessee soldiers who had just spent 7,000 miles away from their families for Christmas. It was 3 weeks ago, and Maria and I traveled to visit these Tennessee National Guardsmen stationed in Kuwait and then in Germany. We slept in the barracks, we ate in the mess hall. We witnessed life for your and my neighbor a long way from here, protecting and defending the liberty and freedom that you and I enjoy right here in America. You know, volunteer spirit's more than just a tagline. It's a value, and it's unique to Tennesseans, and it's passed down from generation to generation. And when you meet someone who embodies that spirit, you won't forget it. And I won't forget them. Today's example of Tennessee's contribution to 250 years of America's freedom. The 250 celebration isn't just about reflection. We're also called to forge ahead to the next frontier, because the decisions that you and I make this year will shape the future of our state for the next 250 years. So this year we'll continue to forge ahead on a path forward with education. Tennessee has cast a vision for what education can and should look like. Strong public schools, choices for parents, opportunity for every kid to succeed. We weren't always in this spot. When I took office in 2019, Tennessee ranked in the bottom half of states in both math and reading. Today, not only do our scores outpace the national average, but since 2022, Tennessee is a top 5 state for gains in reading and math. It didn't happen by accident. First, we made an historic investment of more than $2.5 billion in our public schools. That's a 50% increase. And I'm proud that this year we are proposing in the budget an additional $340 million directed to our public schools. Second, we brought common sense back to the classroom. We know that kids have to learn to read by the 3rd grade so that in the 4th grade, they can read to learn. This simple truth has guided our kindergarten through 3rd grade literacy strategy, and the work's paid off. Today, there are only 6 states in the country that have 4th graders who read significantly better than ours. Third, we recognize the dignity and value of Tennessee teachers. In 2019, the starting salary for a teacher in Tennessee was $35,000. Thanks to you, the members of this General Assembly, in 2027, starting pay will be $50,000. And finally, last year, we gave families school choice with the Education Freedom Scholarship Program because we know that parents know best. Clearly, Tennesseans like freedom. Last year, more than 40,000 applications. This year, 54,000 applications for 20,000 spots. That means right now, 34,000 students are still waiting for a shot at education freedom, and we owe it to them. We don't have to look too far to see how education freedom is changing lives. Down the road in Antioch, Tennessee, 77% of the students enrolled at Lighthouse Christian School are there because they received a scholarship from the state. Dr. Milton Nettles, head of the school at Lighthouse, has seen how school choice is changing lives firsthand. Once a public school teacher himself, he believes parents know best, and he's seen hundreds of students find their fit at Lighthouse and parents who have a choice at last. And still, he says it isn't enough, and I agree. Growing the program would open the door of opportunity for thousands more children statewide. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nettles and some of the exceptional students at Lighthouse Christian School. This is why we should empower parents. This is why we need education freedom. And this is why we should, at the very least, double the amount of scholarships this year for Tennessee students. Every governor's time in office is marked by unique problems. But some of our state's greatest challenges actually span governors and span decades. Memphis crime. It's been one of the most frustrating challenges that many of you in this room have wrestled with long before I came into office. I've loved Memphis all my life. I grew up spending summers there with my cousins, riding bikes off of Getwell, where they lived, through neighborhoods of a great American city that is legendary worldwide. And it saddened my heart to see over the decades that Memphis kids can't live that same safe experience. From day one, we've looked for opportunities to create change in a city that's more than worth fighting for. And over the years, good faith efforts have resulted in incremental progress, but that deserves recognition. But the Memphis Safe Task Force has fostered an unprecedented collaboration between local and state and federal partners that's nothing short of extraordinary. The federal resources delivered by the Trump administration, the dozens of agencies working side by side, the relentless bipartisanship that has proven all the critics wrong. This Herculean effort has in fact created generational change in Memphis. Crime is down 55% in Shelby County, with the lowest monthly crime totals in over 25 years. More than 5,500 criminals have been arrested, and remarkably, dozens of missing children have been found. Last fall, as part of the task force, the TBI and partner agencies established the Missing Child Unit. It's a specialized group dedicated to locating high-risk missing children and returning them to safety. This mission, led by Special Agent Emily Kiefer, resulted in the recovery of 146 missing children in Memphis. Please join me in thanking Special Agent Kiefer flanked by her supervising agents, Assistant Special Agent in Charge Shelley Smitherman, and Special Agent in Charge Alicia Rutherford. Thank you. Now we got to make it stick. Crime plagued that city for decades, and it won't go away in 6 months. To that end, this year's budget includes $80 million in grants to accelerate the momentum in Memphis. And we will increase the full-time Tennessee Highway Patrol presence by permanently placing 100 troopers in Shelby County. Of course, safe neighborhoods don't just belong in Memphis. This should extend to every Tennessee community. It's why you'll see funding in our budget this year to strengthen trusted nonprofit partners all across the state, partners that run at-risk youth employment programs and provide reentry support, all to stop crime in Tennessee communities at the source. And not only will we increase troopers in Shelby County, but we'll boost our highway patrol presence statewide. In 2019, we had 800 troopers in the line of duty across Tennessee. In my first budget session, I asked Commissioner Jeff Long and Colonel Matt Perry, how many troopers do we actually need? And their answer was 1,300. And that's why we have added THP positions every year since I've been in office. And with the additional 50 proposed this year, we will reach the benchmark of 1,300 troopers. You've heard me say many times that what happens in rural Tennessee matters to every Tennessean. Together, we've acted on that belief. From my very first executive order for rural counties to investing hundreds of millions of TennCare shared savings dollars to strengthen rural health care. And we all know how hard this issue of rural health is. And while we've made some progress, we have much more work to do to deliver better care closer to home. We now have an opportunity like we haven't seen in decades. Thanks to the Trump administration, resources have become available through the Rural Health Transformation Fund, awarded just 1 month ago, that'll provide Tennessee with $1 billion over the next 5 years to transform health care in rural communities all across our state. That's $1 billion for our rural hospitals and our rural EMS and our rural primary care doctors. This Rural Health Transformation Fund has given us an opportunity that we have to make certain that we do not miss. In order to be eligible for these federal dollars, Tennessee must take legislative action to make it easier for medical professionals to practice and easier for rural healthcare facilities to operate. Right now, government overregulation stands in the way of that. If your child has strep, why should you have to drive an hour away to see the pediatrician when your neighborhood pharmacist could test and treat your family right then and there? And in a rural community with a shortage of doctors, why can't we both train more physicians and make it possible to see the fully trained physician's assistant down the road? And when a rural facility loses its supervising physician? Should we really force the fully trained nurse practitioner to close her doors to the community as well? These are real scenarios in rural communities all across Tennessee. We have a solution that will mean more providers in rural counties, shorter wait times, care closer to home. And that solution is to get government out of the way and to let those providers practice to the full extent of their training, and we should do that this legislative session. But it's not just about letting providers practice. We also have to let them open their doors in the first place. Rural Tennessee's growing. Our communities need more options. But right now, if a doctor wants to open a new clinic in a rural county, or if your hospital wants to build an imaging center closer to the families that need it, existing certificate of need laws make that nearly impossible. These laws were created over 50 years ago to prevent hospital overbuilding, but today what they do is block investment. They limit competition. They leave rural communities with few or even zero choices. Since the year 2000, certificate of need laws have turned away nearly $1.5 billion in healthcare investment in our state. Those are clinics that were never built, beds that were never added, care that never came. States like Texas and Florida, they got government out of the way. And as a result, their rural communities have more hospitals and more surgery centers and more options to care for their people. This General Assembly began reforming these laws years ago. We should finish the job for rural Tennessee, and we should finish it now. When Maria and I drove an old RV around the state almost 9 years ago, I said then that what Tennesseans care about most is having a good job and a good school for their kid and a safe neighborhood. Seemingly simple things in life that in fact make the biggest difference. Well, tonight we've talked about good schools for our kids and safe neighborhoods, but when I consider the state of our state, one of the most important things that we can do is create opportunity. And for Tennesseans, that means a good job. And that starts with economic development. I want to remind you, the members of the General Assembly, what you have done in the last 7 years to improve opportunity for our neighbors all across Tennessee. The perfect example of this life-changing opportunity is Blue Oval City. For decades, many called the mega site a hopeless piece of land, but we never gave up on Haywood County. And now it's home to one of the most vibrant, job-creating economic projects in the country. Because you have created the best business environment in the country, there are examples of companies all over the world moving to Tennessee. Oracle moved to Nashville. XAI is in Memphis. Arano is in Oak Ridge. In-N-Out is in Tennessee. You brought the biggest Major League Baseball game in American history to Bristol Motor Speedway. And because of a stadium that you invested in, I'm pretty confident a Super Bowl will be coming to Music City. We have been a top 5 moved to state for years now. 91 of our 95 counties are growing, and yes, that is a very good thing. People want to be here because Tennessee's on a winning streak like we've never seen before. And 2025 marked a standout year for economic development. More than $11 billion invested in our state. I recently returned from a trip to Asia where we met with and talked to dozens of global companies that are looking to invest in America. Tennessee's competing with nearly every neighboring state for these jobs, but there is no other state that matches the opportunity found here. And that is the story that we hear from countless business leaders around the world. They want to invest in a state that matches the momentum of their company, and that is Tennessee. You all have done this. You have created this environment. Fiscal responsibility may not make headlines, but it is the #1 reason why Tennessee's leading the pack. We balance our budget, we grow our savings, we spend wisely, we cut taxes. Consider this. Over the last 8 years, our state's revenues have increased by more than 50%. But over those same 8 years, with the exception of boosting law enforcement, we have actually reduced the number of government employees by 1,100. That's fiscal stewardship. The disciplined approach that you've taken has earned Tennessee a AAA bond rating for the last decade, which is proof. It's proof that smart management keeps our state strong. And what does that mean? 300,000 new jobs. That's more than a time card, more than a paycheck. Every new job created is an opportunity for a better life, not only for the Tennessean who's employed, but also for their spouse and for their children, and a hope and a future for their grandchildren. Thanks to your work, that opportunity is found in every corner of our state, from our urban centers to Tennessee's rural towns. Did you know that since 2019, Memphis ranks #1 for the highest number of economic development projects? And at the Memphis, right there. At the same time, our rural counties are growing economically as well. Over that past 7 years, 50% of the dollars invested by businesses in this state have gone directly to rural counties. That kind of success doesn't happen by accident, and it takes skilled workers. How do we get them? Thanks to you. They were on a TCAT wait list that got funded by a $1 billion investment that you approved. Their community college received a GIVE grant, or their high school CTE program taught them how to weld. This commitment to our workforce is the reason why companies are creating thousands of jobs all across Tennessee, changing lives from Unicoi County to Union City. But our work doesn't stop there. We have also made Tennessee the global epicenter of nuclear energy. Talk about a new frontier. Tennessee was just named the #1 state in the country for nuclear energy development, and it's clear why. Tennessee's nuclear fund that you helped to create has already recruited $8 billion in investment from leading nuclear companies around the world, creating thousands of new jobs, and more are on the way. And that's why we are proposing an additional $25 million to the nuclear fund this year. Tennessee's nuclear energy innovation is unlike any other state in the country. And since the days of the Manhattan Project, generations of East Tennesseans have kept the legacy of nuclear alive. In the 1940s, a pipe fitter from Oak Ridge helped build the K-25 building. And his wife rode the bus to work at the Secret City every day. In the 70s, their son became an engineer at Oak Ridge. And today, their grandson, Michael Wedby, works at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, developing the next generation of nuclear power. That kind of legacy story is why Tennessee leads the nation. Please join me in welcoming Michael Wedby and honoring the legacy of the Wedby family to secure America's future. That legacy lives on today at the Clinch River site, where 5 years ago, we set out to be the first state in America to build a small modular reactor. And now it appears that Tennessee will be that state. We also have a vision that Tennessee will both power America and be the catalyst for solving America's most complex problems. So we're moving ahead on another front, AI and quantum computing. Tonight, I'm proud to announce that we're launching the Tennessee Quantum Initiative, a statewide effort to position Tennessee as a national leader in quantum research and in infrastructure and in workforce development. Now, we all know that elaborating on quantum would make a State of the State speech, especially this one, too long. So you'll hear more about that later, but let me just say this. They've called Tennessee the original frontier. Now it's time that we are the future frontier as well. My time as governor will draw to a close. Not yet, but it will. No applause line on that right there. Even though I know William, you and Jack are like keeping score of the numbers of applause. But while my time is closing, Tennessee, however, is actually accelerating. Just like in 2019 when we started together, the opportunity before us is greater today than we could ever imagine. In my first inaugural speech, I recalled how a young man and his family settled on the banks of the Cumberland River in 1796, the year the great state of Tennessee was formed. And some of you will remember that the man that I referred to was my 7th great-grandfather, Braxton Lee. Once again, here we are, Tennesseans, standing on the banks of the Cumberland. Great challenges and great opportunities before us, as in need of the wisdom and the favor of God as much as ever. And with a deep commitment to each other. When we walk out those doors tonight, we'll have one more year together to keep climbing, to move higher to even better ground. Tennesseans 250 years from now, what will they say of us? Were we strong and courageous, faithful and committed and certain? Did we come together to meet the challenges that we face with courage and optimism and a belief in each other? If we meet the challenges of this moment, just as we have for the last 7 years together, future generations will too say of us, they were Tennesseans. It has been the highest honor of my life to serve alongside you. And I will cherish our final year together. And I will pray that in that year, the Lord would grant his favor and his blessing on the people and the places that are the great state of Tennessee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, there you go.
Ready?
Yep.
The purpose for which this joint convention has been called has been accomplished. The joint convention stands in dissolvement.